There's somewhere up towards 100,000 singles uploaded to Spotify every day, an equal amount of albums. So, us as independent artists, small home studio artists, will we make a wave in the ocean? Our little drip in the bucket, will it amount to anything? Will we get any listens? Some of the other artists that are uploading to Spotify within the last several months include Taylor Swift, Tyler the Creator, Sabrina Carpenter, LL Cool J, Eminem. How can we come close to being heard when their albums and releases are overshadowing ours? But does it even matter? I want to answer two questions. But first, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Ohpon. Usually I'm in my studio, which is upstairs. Today on this tile floor, more PVC. And I just uploaded my first album to Spotify. It's called Struck a Chord in this corner here. And it's an album celebrating the first year of my anniversary with my wife. It's a celebratory album. Link below, you should take a listen. But as far as views for that album, do I feel like that time and effort to build that album is justified? Collectively, I probably have, like 5 monthly listeners on Spotify. That album is my only piece of content on Spotify. And collectively on YouTube, it got around 300 views between all 7 songs together. So to a label's perspective or to anyone else's ego, that could be crushing because that's like almost no traffic at all. In fact, of those 5 monthly listeners on Spotify and near 300 listens on YouTube, that's probably primarily my family and friends. So do I justify making another album? Do you justify making an album when relatively no one's listening? Well, I'd say yes for my own personal experience. But the reason I say yes is because as a creative, I just love making music. And maybe egotistically, but I love hearing my own music. Well, I think making an album does help with a couple of things. It helps with storytelling. Also, it helps with commitment. I self-produced, wrote, performed, and engineered or mixed and mastered the whole album myself, except for 2 songs, which those songs highlight who did the production for those songs. But for the most part, I self-produced the album, and it took a lot of commitment and discipline going through making all the beats, writing all the lyrics, performing it, mixing and mastering it. And that takes a larger amount of commitment than making a single, obviously. So you benefit in that way. You benefit in the ability to be able to storytell and have a consistent, fluid process, from one song, the first song to the last. But all in all, I would say it's worth it. So if no one listens, or if everyone listens, nonetheless, make the album.